to my person's world. If you are new here, please don't forget, before you leave after watching this video, don't leave without subscribing and hitting on the bell icon, because every day we upload something, I would want you to get the information. Okay, as a result of that, the best way you can connect with us is by hitting on the bell icon and leave your comments for anything you hear that is really new to you and that you have a concern over. Islam has always been portrayed as a religion of dark ages, a religion that has, in the word of President Macron of France, a religion in crisis with itself, and a religion that frowns at a host of other things. To the point that if you say yes, I'm a Muslim, you are expected to even blow off yourself in the support. In as a means of worship. That is what is outside there. However, today with this video, we are attempting to really clear out some of the doubts that people have about Islam, especially on a trending topic. Because this morning I was watching television, I saw part of the reason why the Democrats were very not happy with the new Justice Minister. Do I have to say Justice Minister? Chief Justice Amy Barrett, is because of her rhetorics about abortion. So in this video, we are going to look at the Islamic viewpoint on contraceptives. Okay, last week on a popular program at AYV called AYV on Sunday, there was a religious person there representing religious organizations, and his view is the reason why this video is created. Okay, for a quick disclaimer here, this video is by no means an endorsement to the promiscuity people are preaching out to the marriage stoves, and even those people that are currently going about trying to pile pressure on the government for them to kind of have an abortion law. This is not by any means, this video is not by any means endorsing their move. Abortion, according to Islam, must be done. If ever it has to be done, it has to be done in agreement. It has to be done by somebody who is responsible and somebody who definitely is married, and it has to be done in agreement with the husband. But that is just from me. But we are going to look at a book written by the Grand Ayatollah of Iran, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei. Okay, we are going to look at his book called Practical Laws of Islam. The Practical Laws of Islam. And in this book is available on Play Store. If you go to Play Store, you will get it there. It's very free and it's cheap. The only thing you pay for is your internet and your memory space. It is not a heavy app anyway, but it is going to be installed, and as a result of that, it has to take space. So it is called Practical Laws of Islam. Okay, this book has answers to all of the everyday puzzles we have in our lives. So if we want to remain guided as a Muslim or even a non-Muslim, you can easily go to Play Store, look for this book, and it is there. Okay, we are going to look at one of the most important topic that we are talking about here, that is called contraception. What really is the Islamic view on contraception according to Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei? Okay, that is what we are going to look at. Give me a sec and I will be with you in no time. It's a question and answer kind of. Okay, he was delivering message and questions with regards to contraception came up. The first question is it permissible for a healthy woman to use temporarily any kind of contraceptive methods that prevents the implantation of the embryo in the uterine wall? That was the question. That was number one question. Let's see the answer to that question quickly. The Sheikh said there is no objection to that, provided that it is done with the husband's permission. That here is referring to the use of temporary contraceptive methods, like there are several contraceptive medicines today outside, okay, that people can use to prevent themselves birth control, to control their birth, but that has to be done by a married person, and it has to be done with the consent of the husband. Let's look at the second question. The second question says, what is the view on using a device which, although not known how it prevents pregnancy, yet it is known as a method of contraception? You remember the type of contraceptive measures we have? We have this thing called coin. You have PP, is it PPA or PPA? There are several names that married stove have. Okay, traditional means of contraceptive measures are also there. But this question is really talking about the married stove types of contraceptive measures. Like I said, this is by no means, this video is paid for by nobody. It is only paid for by myself and as a way of clearing, really giving out listeners, because that program is a widely listened program and it was listened by both Muslims and Christians. But that Reverend Father said that they, as religious organizations, that means Muslims and Christians, they do not have any space for the use of contraceptives and abortion, and it is as a result of that that this video is created. Okay, Mary Stokes, I have never met with them for anything. So it is not in any way an advertisement for their programs. However, Islam does not have, to lie itself, to hide the truth is kufr, to lie is disbelief. Okay. The second question, let's go over that please. What is the view on using a device which, although not known how it prevents pregnancy, yet it is known as a method of contraception? Let's see what the Sheikh said. He said it is not permissible if it leads to aborting the implanted embryo or to unlawful look and touching. Let's get this one very clear. It is not permissible if it leads to aborting the implanted embryo or to unlawful look and touching the implanted embryo that has already gained soul. That is, for example, more than 3 months. It is not permissible. Or if it can lead to unlawful looking and touching, as in a male doctor touching of a married woman's belly, or looking at some private part of the lady. These are the things that the Sheikh is talking about, that it is not permissible if it can lead to such things. So what really that one is saying here is, if you are a woman, a married woman, and you are doing it in unison with your husband, then what? You can look for a female doctor that can easily do it for you. But if it can lead to somebody else looking at you, except in cases where there is no female doctor, female nurse to render the service. Okay, but we'll come to that. Let's go to number 3 question. The third question is the sterilization of a woman who is afraid of pregnancy as being dangerous to her permissible? Let's see the answer to that. As the question goes, it is permissible to sterilize her. Indeed, it is not permissible for her to get pregnant intentionally if her pregnancy poses any danger to her life. Let's go over to that answer by the Sheikh, the Ayatollah. He said, as the question goes, it is permissible to sterilize her. Indeed, it is not permissible for her to get pregnant intentionally if pregnancy poses any danger to her life. Now, you turn into radios now, those campaigners will tell you the girl is is sexually active, and as a result of that, you have to instead of give her coin, blah blah blah, do other things to her. Like the first lady does. I think she has done more good than a host of these guys that are wasting donors' money. What you should do is try to talk to the girls to see reason why they should take education as their priority instead of running after boys. And I wonder if some of these advocates, if some of these activists are really observing girls when it comes to February 14, if they really are that sensible to the situation of girls. Okay, what you should be telling them is to try to behave as girls, not as young women. Behave as girls and not as young women, and encourage them to stay in school and not to go after men, because giving them stuff like that when they are in school, not married women, but girls that are in school, girls that are below even the age of consensual, then you are giving them preventive measures. It's like you are giving them license to go about and spread promiscuity all over around, and that is why we are seeing several of them dropping out of school as a result of these messages that go out by those foreign institutions that come into our lands of Africa. Let's take the fourth question. That is it permissible to sterilize a woman who is known to be prone to bearing deformed or deceased children? Is it permissible to sterilize a woman who is known to be prone to bearing deformed or deceased children? Let's hear from the Sheikh. He says there is no objection to it if it is done for a sensible reason. It does not pose any considerable harm. That is, if the if the sterilization does not cause any considerable harm and is done with the permission of the husband. I want to look at some of the campaigners' messages. One which I will agree, for example, if a lady is being raped, or a lady, for like some foolish men who think any woman is a woman, okay, going after their own kids. So pregnancies like that, in my own view, this is not from the Sheikh's view, but in my own view, I'm pretty sure those are the kind of pregnancies that can be categorized under this category of deformed. So I think those are, because whenever the lady or the girl turns around and see a kid that has been born out of rape, that child or the woman feels discouraged. I'm pretty sure these are one of the reasons why you should feel abortion like that can take place. The question is it permissible for a healthy woman for whom pregnancy is not harmful to use any of the contraceptives? Is it permissible for a healthy woman for whom pregnancy is not harmful to use any of the contraceptives, such as coitus? Probably that is what we call coitus, coitus interruptus, the diaphragm, the pill, and sterilization. Is it permissible? And is it permissible for the husband to force his wife to use any method other than coitus interrupts? The answer here that the sheikh gave. He said, in itself, that is the question itself, there is no problem in doing contraception by any way of coitus interrupts. Nor is there any objection to resorting to any other method, provided that it is driven by a sensible reason, provided if it is not considerably harmful to her health, or it is done with the permission of the husband, and it does not entail haram touching or looking, and it does not entail haram touching or looking. However, the husband has no right, that is capital no. However, the husband has no right to force his wife to do so. Alright, we are going to take the very last one, which happens to be the sixth question. And it says, is it permissible to have an abortion because of economic problems? Is it permissible to have an abortion because of economic problem? What does the sheikh say? The sheikh said, it is not permissible to have an abortion merely because of economic problems. So you see, Islam does not categorically frown at abortion. Okay, rather, Islam even permits abortion, provided if it is done, if giving birth to that child can lead to what? Problem, or it can cause the life of the mother, or if a specialist doctor has said that if the kid is given birth to, it can lead to problem in the family, or the kid is a diseased kid that can lead to problem. Yes, you can go ahead and abort, but that has to be done to a married couple, a married woman, not schoolgirls, not people who don't want to get married. No, it has to be done to people who are married, and it has to be done with the consent of their husbands. Away from that, you can also use the contraceptive methods that are available, provided if it does not cause harm. But you know for sure that the coin that they preach about today, the different, how do you call it, captain bands, okay, that they talk about today, those things are problematic. When a lady uses them, what happens? The time that the person wants to give birth now, it causes problem.
My name is Donna King and I'm 29 years old, and I suffered a double brainstem stroke 3 years ago. It has left me with right-sided weakness and paralysis of the fingers, the toes and the ankle, and this is thought of being brought on by the combined pill. I'd only been on it 2.5 weeks.
I'm Danielle, I'm 20 years old. I had a deep vein thrombosis in the vessel of my brain as a result of being on the pill. I wasn't aware of the symptoms when the nurse had put me on it.
In January 2015, I developed a DVT in my left leg, which led to a massive pulmonary embolism. I also had a cardiac arrest and developed acute kidney failure.
In January of this year, ITV News ran an article about the death of a young woman, a 21-year-old called Fallon Correc. It was actually an article about the inquest into her death, an inquest that showed that her death was linked to the contraceptive pill. The response we got to this article was overwhelming. Some of the people in this newsroom had never seen a response like it. 600 people commented. We tried to contact a lot of these people. Of them, 150 women or families of women told us that they had experienced some side effects of being on the contraceptive pill, and of those, 99 had had blood clots while being on the pill. Now, this is not a story about the rights or wrongs of being on the contraceptive pill. It remains an extremely safe form of contraceptive, but it is about whether we are getting good enough at spotting the side effects of it. The risk of these side effects are very low, but they do exist and they can sometimes be fatal.
Currently the campaign is going on now, it's free, but when you want to give birth now, you will have to pay for what you have been using. And there are some that the disease can, the implantation can even lead to what? Harm. So what the Sheikh is saying here, yes, it is good to use the contraceptives, provided if it cannot lead to harm. So this video, I don't want to make it too long. I tended to answer that religious organization that sent the Reverend Father. I'm pretty sure those Muslims who were there might not have even kind of gone about and done any research on that. But this book is available and it's online. It's available on Play Store. You can go there. It is called Practical Laws of Islam. You go there, you can see several questions are there that are unanswered by our sheikhs in the streets. Okay, you don't need, this is 21st century. We all need to do what? To be our own sheikhs. Educate yourself. Don't let somebody else to come and lie to you about Islam. Islam is not as backward as people say. And to the president of President Macron of France, this is for all Muslims. Okay, you have to stand up and tell Macron that yes, we are having, our religion is in crisis because of their actions in Iran. Of their actions, I'm talking about Western, not Christians, I'm talking about Western. Because of their actions in Iran, because of their actions in Libya, because of their actions in Mali, because of their actions across the world. All places where Muslims are, where Muslims used to thrive, the Westerners have encroached there and have poisoned the minds of the people against their own leader. That is why Islam is in crisis. So if anything is in crisis, it is the Western that is in crisis, but Islam is intact. And those of you that are like Saudi Arabia, that happens to be on the breakfast table of these people, you have to, Arabs that are Arabs, Qataris, the Abu Dhabis, okay, how do you call them? People should stand out like what is going on now in Bangladesh and Turkey. People should take firm decision against some of these nonsense things that Macron and his fellow Islamophobes preach out about Islam. We can't take that. You cannot be insulting our prophets and you expect us to do business with you. We need to get that. We need to get their businesses out of our lands. Thank you. Let me not make this video too long. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so whenever we make any updates, you'll be in touch.